Hey everybody, it's Claude from C&G Rip House. Here's the Chrome cards that are going in Heston's binder. Birdsong, Yobert Diaz, Adele Amador, Sean Manea, Luis Severino, Profar, Trevor Story, Miguel Andujar, Matt Olson, Mookie Betts, Roki Sasaki, Justin Verlander, Xander Bogaerts, Byron Buxton, Jackson Holiday, Future Stars, and Olich Freddie. Okay, so those are the cards that were keepers and are going to Heston out of the Chrome box. Okay, so we ripped that box to kind of show what's coming in Topps Chrome, but to also kind of lead into this video where we are going to put them in a binder for a kid who's kind of getting into the hobby. I'm going to put a starter binder together for him. He's one of my buddy's kids. He likes football, so I pulled some football. There's 90 cards there, and then there's 90 baseball cards over here. He doesn't really have a whole lot of baseball yet, but we'll get him into it. Okay, so let's talk about building a starter set. When you make the decision to go buy some cards and get into the hobby, how do you want to protect those cards? They're delicate cards, right? So there's a couple different options. Option one is we put them in a binder over here on the left. Option two is we put them in a box like this over here on the right. In order to do that and protect your cards adequately, what you want is you want to start off with penny sleeves, like that's on that card right there. All right, penny sleeves will basically, as soon as your card comes out of the box, you use these to begin the protection process, right? And you don't want to, I mean, the penny sleeve, card goes in the penny sleeve and doesn't come out, basically, is what you are going for, I guess. So you sleeve the card first, and then you can make the decision, do I put it in a top loader like this? This is an assortment of top loaders from BCW. What I like about this box is it gives you the point sizes of what top loaders that you need to buy for the thickness of your card. It's really helpful. But you can buy one of those. It's just a, most of your cards are going to fit in that. That's that 20 point size that's, you know, the most economical to buy. There's really not a whole lot of difference between them, except for the BCW. You can get, you know, an assortment of sizes of top loaders. But top loaders are what you'll ship it in if you're selling cards, you know, if you're trading individuals maybe, and you got a box that you carry them around in. But I think the easiest way to go about carrying them around for trading is to go the binder route. And in order to go the binder route, all you need is the binder, which is like, you can get I think it's a 4 or 5 pack for 20 bucks on Amazon. And then you want to buy, I like these Ultra Pro Platinum series pages. They just fit better. And I use the Ultra Pro penny sleeves to go with them, so that everything kind of fits together. Sometimes you'll get some penny sleeves that are too big for the pouches on your pages, so that can be a problem. It'll wrinkle up, but it'll still do its job and protect the card. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one is we're going with a binder setup, and so we'll put the pages in there. I've already sleeved all the cards. In fact, a lot of these cards came out of either a box or my binder, and they were already sleeved up. So for this purpose, they were already ready to go, right? Let me talk about these little plastic cases like this. So you can buy these little plastic cases, and they hold the cards pretty well in place and protect them pretty well. However, there are different kinds of those. That one right there, I don't like it because you can't fit sleeved cards in there. There are some on Amazon that you can buy. There's this one that I buy, it's 2 compartments. Carries a couple hundred cards, which is all you need for a night of ripping boxes, right? And over at your buddy's house. And then you can carry it around. It's about this big, this tall, and it'll protect your cards too. So the plastic boxes are a good option if you don't have your stuff in a binder that you're trying to get, you know, swapped out or sell. Okay, so when you start sorting your cards, basically you take all the cards that you've ripped out of a box, right? And you want to sort them in 2 packs, right? So I always go, the first sorting that I do is, well, while I'm going through, I separate the rookie cards out, because you're going to want to keep all the rookie cards, you know, unless it's like a, you know, and, well, I take that back. You don't want to keep them all. If you're opening a box of 2020 or 2021, you can sort those out. You can go look on a baseball player reference chart and see if they're still active or not. You can throw the old ones away if you need the space, right? Like, that's where I am in my collecting journey, is I throw those away. If they're not in the league anymore, to me, they're not worth keeping. So, you know, different people have different reasons for keeping or throwing away cards, or keeping them or getting rid of them, right? But to each his own. You just, you know, figure out what you want to do, and you go, you know, do that. What I'm showing you is how to get to where, if you go buy a box at the store, you can go ahead and open it up and protect your cards so that they don't get dings on them subsequent to opening. So let's talk about a binder. So we've already talked about the sleeves. the first step you want to do is you want to figure out what goes in your boxes, what goes in your binders. You can separate out your rookie cards into those two categories also, and then, you know, maybe separate your superstars out or something. So minor stars, you know, team stars, like, I don't know, like a Joe Adele type guy, or you know, a Josh Young type guy right now. He's a star to me. I want to collect him, right? So I'm probably going to sleeve all his cards, but I've got a bunch of his rookies already, so a lot of his stuff is going to go into boxes that I get from here on out, right? So, but then Aaron Judge card or a Shohei Ohtani card, you want to keep that, you want to sleeve it, and it probably wants to go in your binder until you get too many in the binder, and then you want to go to, you know, boxing them, right? So there's different reasons for going in a box versus going in a binder, but you separate those out by category card, like inserts, parallels, sleeve and not sleeve, or box and binder. All your binder cards are going to get sleeved, right? All your superstars are going to get sleeved, and then they're either going to go into a box or a binder based on your needs for your collection. So to enable that to happen, we need the materials. So we've got the binder pages. We've already got the cards sleeved up, so they're ready to go straight into the pages, and then we'll start paging them up. One cool thing about binders that I like is some of these old Donruss puzzles. You can work the puzzle pieces, and then you can slip them in here. I think those are cool binder covers for your binders. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go through the process of paging these things up, and then we'll show you what the binder looks like when it's complete. Okay, so let's talk about boxing. So if they're going into a box, it may be like a common player card or something, or a team star, right? Like for me, it's got to be a team star for me to keep them, unless it's like a young guy in his first 3 years or something who hasn't found his stride yet. I'll keep those guys too. But most of the other cards, the common players, the you know, role fillers, the journeymen and stuff like that, they'll go into a box by themselves, or, you know, maybe even just get thrown away. I don't really like throwing away modern cards because the guys can turn their careers around and turn into a superstar. It's happened in the past. But I think at this point in my collecting journey, I'm okay with letting those go. In fact, I have to let them go because I just don't have enough space to let them keep continuing to grow my collection. So I put them in boxes like this. So this box, if you'll notice, it's separated by, it's got cards that are sleeved, and then it's got cards that are not sleeved. Sleeve, not sleeved, sleeve, not sleeved. And then I've got them separated by years. 2018 stars. Okay, some of these guys are unsleeved, but then some of them are sleeved. Probably inserts and parallels. And then I've got rookie gold cups, 2008. Rookies and gold cups, and future stars. I just didn't have space to write it on there. So rookies and gold cups. And in 2021, I'll have superstars. All of these are sleeved. And then stars, some of these are sleeved. Some of them are raw. And then rookies and gold cups. And so that's how it goes. Every year gets a slot for superstars, a slot for stars, and then a slot for rookies and gold cups and future stars. So that's how your boxing should go. You need sleeves for that. The dividers come with these little boxes that you order on Amazon. So that's how the boxing thing works. You know, you'll probably want to, every now and then, pull them out and go through them. You know, see if any of those guys in there have turned into superstars and you're sitting on their rookie cards. But that's basically all the materials that you'll need for this stuff. So let's go over these cards that I pulled for Heston. So let's start over here. We've got football, 3 stacks of 30 cards each. Some of these I pulled out of old boxes or storage boxes. Some of them I pulled out of binders. All the Patrick Mahomes cards came out of my binder. And then over here we've got the baseball cards that I pulled, 3 stacks of 30 on these. Inserts, parallels, there's some numbered cards in there. I gave them a good mix of stuff. And then there's 17 cards that are basically worth keeping from the chrome box that we opened, the hobby box that we opened. All right. And then the cost of your boxes versus your binders, you're going to pay a little bit more for your binders. For the binders are more expensive than boxes, right? Like these boxes over here, I think you can get, I think it was like 10 or 12 of them for like, I don't know, 15 bucks or something, relatively cheap. And then all you need is the sleeves. The only other purchase you have to make are the sleeves, which I said the sleeves were $1,000 for about $22, I believe. And then you got to buy the binders. They're about $4 or $5 a piece. Let's talk about binders. You want the D-ring instead of the circle ring binders, 2 to 3 inches. You don't want to get more than 4 inches tops. I think 4 inches would be too much, actually. You don't want to go more than 3 inches on your binder size because they just get too heavy and too big, too cumbersome to move around, and you know, you'll start dinging the corners of the bottom cards on the corner and stuff. So yeah, I'd say 2 to 3 inches on your binders. I think that one's a 2 or 2.5. And then that's it. The next thing you do is just go get you a box of cards, rip them, sort them, sleeve them, and throw them in your binder or your box. And that's how you protect your cards and have a collection worth selling in the future. All right, we'll get started. I'll show you all this process. Okay, as we're getting ready to page these cards up, the first thing that we need to do is sort these cards into a way to organize them, right? So some people do it by alphabetical last name, right? So I don't really like that. Josh Allen will be your first card, right? Make a stack for A's, B's, C's, and on down the line, right? The second way to do it is sorting them by teams, which I think is a pretty good way to do it, because you'll always be able to, kind of look it up and be like, yeah, Josh Allen, yeah, he was on the Bills for a long time, and then he got traded to, whoever, LA or something, right? So sorting by teams is a pretty good method. And the way that I organize those teams throughout the binder is I go through, like for football, I've never done it, but I would say I'll start with the AFC West, and then I'll go AFC West, AFC Central, AFC East. I think those are the 3 divisions. And then NFC, no, they've got North. So AFC West, AFC North, AFC South, AFC East. That's what it is. And then so I'll go those, and then I'll go NFC, West, North, South, East. And I'll lay them out by their divisions. That way you'll always be able to find what cards, that you need. Another way to sort them would be teams alphabetical. I've done that before. It's a little bit confusing. I like the divisions better. And then what else? What other way did they sort them? You could sort them by years. I don't know. It's not a very good. I use years on my boxes, right? And it's just not a very efficient way to do them. I think for a binder. I don't know. It might be all right for a binder. You definitely have to have separate pages for every year, though, like dividers. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and sort these by teams. I'll start with divisions. So AFC West, AFC East, NFC North, AFC East. That's all the cards. Their cards. So, AFC South, AFC East, AFC East, South, AFC North, AFC East, AFC South, South. Right hand East, AFC North. That's Troy. East. Let's see this time. North. East, AFC West. West, East, North, North, AFC West. Yes, West. Plus here is East. East. Okay, good. North. Well, difficult with this stuff. Football Seahawks. One down to this. Angles. Here. Dash. 30. Back. Go. Hand on to lines. This. Cards. South. North. West. East. West. Rams. Jets. North. Rams. Patriots. Jets. Rams. Chiefs. Russian. Rice. West. Time was ready to go. Top of the bridge. And their card. Down their card. I'll be here too. That's pretty card. North. North. The Bronx. And Herbert. Starters. Okay, where's the other football? Okay, here we go. All right, we got Mahomes. I guess I'll show you guys. Mahomes. All right. There's some items. Lamar teams. We got the same card. We want to add Lamar Jackson. Chris Walker. And touches the ball. South. Smith. And just West. Baker South. South. East. North. Okay, and then I'll take every division and I'll put them into teams. So. Rams. Seahawks. Rams. Seahawks. Okay, they're offensive. Here comes line. Lines. Okay, I have zero over here. Bills, the Dolphins, Patriots, the Jets, the East, Patriots, Ravens, Browns, and the Colts. Okay. All right, I've got them all sorted out. Time to page them up. Okay, got the NFL stuff paged up. Now for the baseball. Okay, and then on baseball, I typically start with American League West. That way I have my Rangers in the front, but do it however you want. I'm gonna go page these up. Okay, here we go. So here's the football. Some Cowboys, my homies. Here's the baseball. So it ended up being a little bit over 100 baseball cards because I pulled 90 cards out of my collection, and then I pulled another 17 or so out of the Chrome 25 Chrome box. All right, so that's it. That's how you go about making yourself your first binder. And then, like I said, on this part, I think I may try to go get a puzzle and put in here for him. It don't have to be baseball though. I don't have any football stuff. Anyway, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Clod from C&G Rip House. Y'all take it easy. Okay, here it is. It's the last little clip that I'll do on this. Here's a binder for Heston. Got all the football and then all the baseball. And that's it. Binder made. Thanks for watching, guys. Again, it was Clod from C&G Rip House in Lubbock, Texas. Y'all have a good one.